It was around 10 a.m. on August 9, 2024. A phone call came from RG Kar Medical College Hospital in Kolkata. The voice of the person answering the phone was clearly trembling with anxiety. The voice on the other end asked, "Are you the father of the lady doctor?" Then they replied to us. After hearing what the caller had to say, the ground beneath that father's feet seemed to vanish. He said, "As soon as possible, reach the hospital, your daughter's condition is very bad." The father couldn't believe this news. His daughter, a dedicated doctor, was perfectly fine the night before. What could have happened to her? Before he could ask anything, the call was cut off. In a panic, the father called back and asked in a shaky voice, "What happened to my daughter?" The reply came, "Sir, your daughter has ended her life." Upon hearing these words, tears welled up in the father's eyes. The one who always smiled, who gave countless patients a new life every day, was no longer in this world. Hearing the news, the mother also broke down in tears. They were shattered, but without delay, both rushed to the hospital, unaware that by the time they reached, this news would have spread throughout the city like wildfire. Outside the hospital, a crowd had begun to gather. Everyone was shocked and angry. How could this happen? Who was responsible for taking the life of this innocent doctor, and most importantly, why? Meanwhile, not only doctors and nurses but also the general public took to the streets. Everyone had the same demand: CBI investigation and justice. This incident had shamed humanity. Anyone who heard this news was left speechless. But the story doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. What is the hidden truth behind this tragic incident? Who is responsible for this brutality and why? To find the answers to these questions, we must delve deep into this mystery. This story is from Kolkata, where a highly talented and dedicated woman doctor, a postgraduate student in the chest medicine department, was reaching new heights in her professional life. This woman doctor, who endured immense suffering in her final moments, came from a simple family. From childhood, she understood the importance of education and completed her medical studies through hard work and dedication, becoming the focal point of her parents' hopes and achieving the pride of being the first doctor in her family. Her success was not only a matter of pride for her family but also an inspiration for her community. In medical college, she worked hard to prove herself. She always had the motivation to serve patients and collaborated with juniors and seniors during her training. She always cared for patients with a smile and was dedicated to her work, but no one knew that one day this dedication would lead her to a horrific end. On the night of August 8, 2024, at 11 p.m., she received a phone call from her mother. As usual, her mother checked on her. The doctor smiled and replied, "Mom, I'm fine." At that time, she was going to see patients, or that was her last interaction. The mother was reassured that her daughter was busy with work and safe, but fate had other plans. Around midnight, when everyone was preparing to sleep to relieve their fatigue, the doctor had dinner with her two junior colleagues, laughing and joking. After eating, she said she was quite tired and was going to the seminar hall on the fourth floor to sleep. No one thought that would be the last time she would be seen smiling with someone. On the morning of August 9th, when her father received the terrible phone call, he informed his wife, and both hurried to the hospital in panic. When they arrived, the scene was nothing short of a nightmare. The hospital corridors were in chaos. The doctor's body lay in a semi-nude state, covered in blood and wounds. There were multiple signs of injury on her body, and her neck was broken. Blood was oozing from her eyes, mouth, and private parts. This was no ordinary death. All limits of brutality had been crossed.